Morning, everyone. It is June 21st. I am watching AMD this morning. What I kind of wanted to show you was what I look for on the tape. And this is a pretty active stock right now. So if you are long biased, you want to look for a lot of green printing on the tape. That means that the sale is being executed at the ask. So right now, there's a good amount of red, and you'll see the price is kind of tanking a little bit. So it had a really big pre-market move. So let's see, ran all the way up. It was down around 1250, I think so previous close 1260. So it ran all the way up, a little bit over a point, and then it kind of pulled back a little bit. So I wanted to see what was going to happen here at market open. See if we can't maybe catch a scalping opportunity. But again, what I wanted to kind of show you was how to use the level 2 and the tape to get a feel for what's happening, what could be coming, right? So you see you got a lot of sellers. Well, the sellers are kind of stacked up here, right around this 1350 mark, right? So if you're seeing a lot of green printing, you would assume that a lot of buying is happening and that resistance wouldn't hold. But in this case, it looks like we're going the opposite direction, right? So you've got a lot of people here. Look at 1350. We got over 10,000 shares there was. So see, but look at that. Right when it got through it, it just popped up. So you kind of got to watch these two things. So you got to watch your level 2. You got to watch the action on the tape. See, we just got that pop right there. And that would have been a really good spot to get in. You get the $0.50, which kind of acts as natural support and resistance anyway. We've got increasing highs, right, or lows. So it's making that higher low from the open. And really what you can do is you can draw these trend lines, and then you just kind of follow them. Right? If it breaks the trend, you get out. So this is a very active stock this morning. They had some news. Not sure what the news was exactly, but I expect to see a lot of action today on this. So if you trade it, or I guess by the time you watch this, I'll say if you did trade it, then I hope you made some money on it. But that was it. I just wanted to show you guys kind of how the tape and the level 2 works in conjunction. So work on that when you are watching your stocks. Keep an eye on what's going on as far as the time and sales, right? Also called the tape, and your level 2. All right, guys, so just watching the action on AMD. I thought it was going to wash, so I wanted to capture that and just kind of talk about, again, the tape. So very active. This I typically like to trade low float stocks, and they'll get a move like this just, real quick. So I'm expecting this is probably going to retest either this support. I don't know if we'll get back up to VWAP. So to me, the tape looks pretty mixed. Let's see. Keep an eye on the level 2 here. So now if it pops through VWAP, I would expect to probably see a spike. But if this is a reject, it's gonna move lower, right? So it's basically just a pullback, and then you'll see it move lower again. But right now, it could kind of be stuck between these two levels. You got this support here around 1335 prior support. You see here it based at just above, right around 1330. So see our volumes increasing. Let's see what happens. So we got about 30,000 shares there, just below 1350. Yeah, see, and it's probably gonna head back down. So when people see patterns like this, right? So when it breaks down through VWAP, retests, a lot of times you'll just see it wash. So there's probably a lot of people getting short right here. Plus that's at that $0.50, which is a lot of natural resistance. Depending on your tolerance for risk, you could basically have your stop up here, because I mean this, since market open, high a day is right here. It's 1365. So if you got in around this 1350, you're risking 15 to 20 cents. For me, that's a little too much risk, but Um, I really wouldn't expect to see it get that high if it's actually going to short and go lower. I would actually want to be out of this pretty quick if it does get over VWAP, just because it's made a couple of these moves in pre-market here. It made, this was, I don't know, somebody hit the market button on accident maybe, but it was just a real quick pop down and right back up. So I kind of just disregard that and think more of, hey, this was just a couple of candles here. And then it tried to get up over that, just that pre-high, not the pre-market high, because pre-market high was actually 1375 up, back here. So again, to me, this, I don't know, it's tough. Made that big move pre-market. There is news on it, so people are probably looking to take it either direction. You've got a wide range here. So if you actually use this as your kind of your support and it doesn't break down, you can make 30, 40 cents here probably before you have to worry about it making a real reversal type move. But I wouldn't, I could get maybe 200 shares of this right now. So if I made 40 cents, that's about 80 bucks. For me, that's a good day. Hey guys, so I'm watching Twitter, and this thing made a pretty big move since the market opened. You'll see it made a nice move up here, real small pullback. This could be another pullback here, and then generally to be good for a third move. So started to consolidate here right at this 1785 level. So I would be looking to get in at the breakout. So let's say we paper traded this and got in here at 785. I would have gotten in right here when there was a little bit of volume. See down here, we've got a little tick up in the volume. So in at 785, I would have had my stop. Honestly, I'd put my stop down here, probably give it about 15 cents. So I'd be under 1775. So let's say we had our stop down here at, I'd probably go like 73. And then we just watch and see what happens. So looking at my fib, so I like to I'll draw a fib from market open up to the high, and I drew it up to here, and then it got 1 cent over, but I drew the high up here. So I would be looking for profits up here around the 1811 area, which also coincides with this 1816 support level. So this may reject. I think it's just going to bounce, and it'll probably run again. Usually when you get moves like this, they're good for one pullback, two pullback, and then they'll make a third attempt. So if it gets over 18, I would be looking to pull in, like I said, around the 1810 mark probably. This may be a loser, I don't know, but just one thing I kind of wanted to show you for when you're looking for breakout plays, right? You want to look for areas that have acted as resistance where it's maybe touched a couple times, but it's still making lower highs. So before we got to the breakout, right, it looked like that. And you can easily see that, that trend is up right there. And then it did break out. And granted, it just tapped that high. So there wasn't a whole lot of follow through. That's why I don't know if it's going to get up there, but a speculative position, you could take 1885, like I said, to kind of get through that breakout level. And if taking 10 to 11 cents of risk would be too much for you, you could always get in just under the lows of the previous candles, right? So here's 1779. So you're only risking 6 cents, right? That's nothing. If you only took 100 shares, right, you're only risking $6. And the potential upside there to go from 85 to 1810, that's a quarter. So you're getting 4 to 1 on your money, basically. This is referred to as a double top. So it tapped here again. Now this is kind of a cup and handle. So this is kind of your cup. Oh, it's a bad drawing. So this is kind of your cup, right? And then this is the handle where it makes just a little pullback and a test again. And typically when this happens, you'll see the stock break out. Now it is summer, so I like to blame lack of volume on the summer months, but it looks like, I said, we're getting an uptick here. I would think we're going to see this pop. So let's see if it can break through this time. Level 2, that's not scary at all. as I say that, it starts, so see, so we're printing red here, which means it's getting a lot of resistance, but I think it's going to go. So if the tape starts speeding up and you start seeing a lot of green and your prices are just getting chewed through on the level 2, volume coming in, that's usually a good indicator that it's going to rip. Now, I'm sure it's going to encounter some natural resistance here around 18. So you might, like I said, you might see a pullback there. If it blows through 18, it should very easily take another dime. And then, like I said, you'd be looking at 4-to-1 return on your money. You could also argue that these are lower highs. Why did you disappear? Lower highs here. So you could ride that trend line. All right, you just keep your stop kind of below this trend line and see if it kind of makes a move all the way up, and sometimes it'll ride that. And you know, your 9 EMA here, that's this yellow line. This is a lagging indicator, so obviously it's kind of going to follow the same trend, but this is, you know, trend trading. This is a very easy way to do it. So you see it kind of got stuffed here, just shy of 18 bucks. I figured that would happen. Now let's see if this, like I said, we get another dip and then we get some more volume and push over 18. So kind of the same thing happened on Square. I don't have it in the screen capture, but my position on Square that I got into, if any of you watched that video for the swings, it's up about another 10, 12 bucks today. The price pulled back a little bit, but it is making another bullish move. So if it doesn't have a big wash like it did yesterday, it dumped almost a full point yesterday, and then it recovered about half of it. Okay, so this is a bull flag. That is a bull flag. So this is your bull pole, all right? And this is actually kind of a pennant, the bull pennant, which is just a move up, and then you're going to get a lower high, but then also a higher low. And what you're looking for is you're looking for it to break out of this level. So, you know, you could again try to play the pop over the previous high. I'd probably look for it over 18 if you really wanted to look to buy after it's broken out. But it should pop up again. So you see here it's kind of starting to break out. So you would look to see this pop up and then close above the top of the pennant. You'd want to see it kind of retest this support line, and then you would want to see it move higher again. So let's watch this candle and see what happens. So you see there, it's kind of the retest. Looks like a lot of selling. And I don't know, wow, the spread just, that was really weird. Oh, I see what happened. Sorry, I had my bid sorted wrong. If anybody noticed that, I apologize. So this pop back down here, like I said, it should test this, what you could call support. The trend line often acts as resistance until it breaks through, and then it's support. So it should retest, and then we're going to look for a push through 18. I'm not seeing a whole lot of volume yet, so you would want to see that. Clean the chart up. No, so kind of broke down through that support. So this may be it. 18 might have been the top, but if you'd have gotten in down here at, what did I say, 17.85, right? 15 cents. No, well, that's a big tank. So this is probably going to take a nice dive right now. That's why I was saying, you know, when they make these moves, right, I like to use the 5-minute to because it's a little cleaner to see. You get a pop, a pullback, pop. So this could really be the second pullback of the 5-minute chart. So in theory, it could have another run. So depending on, you know, where this is going to drop down to. Where's VWAP? Yeah, see, so we're way overextended above VWAP, but that's why I don't like to really get into stocks that are really extended above VWAP, because they can, you know, take a huge shit. So for me, there's less risk to get in really low here. But so this looks like just maybe a little pullback. If we get some buying volume in here, and then we'll press it again. So I got to get out of here for work. So I just wanted to bring that up. I know today's video has kind of been a hodgepodge of different things, but if you guys kind of like seeing the live action that's going on in the morning, let me know. I'll try to make more videos and explain a little bit of kind of what I'm watching or looking for that would be a possible trade setup. I generally look for long setups. I'm not a real big short fan. I just don't have the confidence in shorting. If you do, it's a good way to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. So if you're a scalper, shorting is probably the preferred method to quick profits. I'm just not really good at it from the short side. I haven't had much luck. So I tend to be long biased. All right, thanks. See you later. Hey folks, the trading day is over. I just wanted to finish up this video with kind of where some of the positions would have went. I put a little paper trade in for AMD right before I left for work. So I said, hey, get in on this. It was this candle actually as it broke through. But once it got over 1350, which was also one of the pivot points that I had on the chart, I thought that's probably a good sign that it's going to hold and we'll be looking to move up here. So you can see this. So I would have gotten 200 shares because my buying power sits at right around 2,800 bucks right now. So I could afford 200 shares on my margin. 1353 was where I would have, hit the execute button. And then my target would have been just below support and resistance line here at 1378. So I would have had my stop just below the low of the previous, or the low of that candle. I initially was going to put it down under VWAP, down here under 1340, but that's like 14 cents per share risk. And the payday is only not even twice that, which is crap. You want to have at least 3-to-1 risk to reward so that you don't have to win all the time to make money. So in this case, I would have actually been stopped out. You'll see if we move the chart. So it came down to 1345 was kind of the low here where it based. So this is kind of like I don't know if you'd call it a fake breakout, but there really wasn't any volume, right? The volume didn't follow through. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, the volume did not follow through. We just had that one candle where I got in, which kind of faked me out. And then these two candles of volume, nah, and then it kind of waned. Once it did touch down here at 1345, though, it kind of made another little pop-up. Didn't do anything else really in the morning. So around 1 o'clock, it came down, got here close down to VWAP, and then it just started kind of grinding. I mean, if you look at the volume's real low. So this probably wouldn't show up on a whole lot of scanners unless you were actually watching the stock. I was watching Square most of the day, so I didn't see this happen. But if you would have seen this, or like I said earlier, if you'd have had more risk tolerance than I do, you could have gotten a good move. So let's say you were in at the 1353 from earlier. This thing ran all the way up to $14, and there's generally going to be natural support and resistance at whole $half and sometimes $quarter prices. So you would expect to want to take profit up there anyway. And that would have been almost 50 cents on 200 shares. That's almost $100, which for me would have been great. I'd be ecstatic to make $100 a day after the market closed. So during the post-market trading here, it just kind of held on to 14. You see this little spike. I would guess that's probably shorts covering at the end of the day or portfolio balancing. So that's where AMD went. The Twitter, I don't even know what happened with Twitter. I said earlier in the video, I said we were looking for a break over 18 that I was talking about. And you can see right here, I guess this is where it got up to 18. Kind of a fake breakout, right? Look at the volume. So you had real nice trend in the volume. And to me, if I'm seeing this increasing volume like this, let me get rid of this fib. This is probably bothering some of you. So if I'm seeing increasing volume and this thing is approaching resistance, right, while making higher lows, I'm thinking it's gonna break out. So I bet a lot of people probably got skunked on this move right here. And then I think it just probably fell off after that. Yeah, see, so it got up there to 1804, and then it just kind of fell off. So that would have been a losing trade. The AMD would have been a winning trade, which obviously would have upset a loss on here and actually still would have been a green day if you had by chance taken both of those trades. I guess this video is going on probably about 20 minutes now. Again, drop me comments below whether you liked it, didn't like it, what you want to see changed. I want to put these videos out to show people, kind of where I'm at in my journey, but also to maybe help you if I know something that you don't. Thanks, guys.